Maheu. I played Shannon Nightingale in Stab 5. Stab 5 was a little different than the other stabs because Shannon was fun-loving and she didn't have anything to worry about until later on, where she sees a psychic and she tells her that she's going to die. The character was really fun to play. It was pretty easy. I actually took over for another Shannon. My name's not Shannon, it's Stephanie. Most of the characters in the movie played their names. So that was a little different from my character. And I didn't see anything that Shannon had already done. Unfortunately, she was in a car accident and couldn't move forward. So I was notified by Josh. Somebody had seen a movie that I was in called The Darkness Within, and he asked if I would be interested in playing in a stab series, and I was like, absolutely. I love horror, I love Scream, and I was all about it, and the whole thing was just really fun. I got to get stabbed in my throat and choke on a bunch of blood and get really dirty and meet a bunch of new people and just see how the other side works, because in the other films that I didn't get to stay on set so long. So I actually got to see them set up more with lighting and sets and like background and going to different locations. So it was all new for me, and I was like a little girl in a candy shop. I do remember meeting Jen, and she's like a big ball of energy, and she's just the biggest sweetheart, and you just want to grab her and play. Like, you feel like you're a little kid again. And Chris is kind of the same way. He's like a joker, and we had a lot of fun doing our scene together at Myths and Maidens. I just remember this really unique shop that had like all these really cool trinkets, and we had this whole thing set up, and it was kind of like seance-y, kind of like spooky. I kind of got like a little, ooh, this is gonna be cool. I wonder if there's any spirits here. I know I'm such a little weirdo about that. Josh is a lot to handle sometimes. He's a lot of fun, but don't piss him off, and really don't mess with his baby. And his baby is the stab. Like, don't mess with stab. Come prepared, come ready to work and listen and do what he needs you to do, because if not, he doesn't take it lightly. And that's not saying he doesn't like to have fun, because he definitely does have fun, and sometimes we overshot time because we just had so much fun that we ended up filming way later than we even thought possible. And he's actually very lenient for the most part. A lot of people, I think, take advantage of him. I think it's just kind of hard because a lot of people are working and like trying to fit in where you can meet up and get everybody together with their schedules, and then, you know, you're not getting paid, so a lot of people just don't take it that serious, which I dealt with in other stab series. People just not showing up on time and stuff, but for the most part, Josh keeps it very professional, and he goes over and beyond for people. I mean, he used to call me his muse, and he took so many photos of me. He made little special things for me. He took my ideas. He implemented in other stabs. I mean, you can't really go wrong with having a director that's so open and professional at the same time. It felt so easy to do, and like, I just had a natural connection with Jen and Chris that it felt like I had been friends with them forever. So it just felt so genuine. That scene really, even looking back at it now, just was a very genuine scene where we all just connected. And then later on, when I get stabbed in my throat, I don't know, I love gore, I love blood, so I was really excited. Just like falling away and just bleeding out just seemed like a fun idea to me. I don't really want to get stabbed or die, so please, if anyone in your head you think, oh, maybe I'll go after this girl, please don't. It's just, thanks. I'm not daring you here. I really just, please don't get crazy about the whole film. But I do really appreciate the gore of Josh. And there's always so much blood. I mean, blood to the point where it stains your hair because you have bleach in it, and it stains your bra, and it stains your skin, and it's just all over the walls now, and we're all trying to scrub it clean. So Josh doesn't really hold back when it comes to giving the gore, I think. So when I did get stabbed in my throat, it was actually a real knife being swung at my face, which, you know, normal people might have a problem with, but I have an older brother, and we used to throw knives at each other. They were butter knives, but we did throw them at each other, so I thought it would be like fun to just try it, you know, and luckily I didn't get stabbed, so, but I didn't die. I came back and I saved the day, and I shot some mother is in the face. And I just want to say thank you to all my fans, because you're like the reason why I came back here. I have a baby at home and my life is crazy and we're in quarantine. But I really appreciate anyone and everyone that wants to send positive energy towards me, towards the Stab series, towards Josh. So I just want to say, honestly, thank you so much for everything that you guys do to support us. Maheu, I play Shannon Nightingale in Stab 6. So Stab 6 is a little more crazy than Stab 5. We start with my character is dealing with a lot because my boyfriend in Stab 5, Chris Doobie, was the killer and he was trying to kill me. So I have these horrible nightmares that he's coming to get me still. Josh is dead. I don't really know where I am in the world. I don't know who to trust, and I also don't want to not ask for help, so I end up getting on a lot of different medications to help my issues with anxiety, depression, and like compulsive disorder. I'm always checking to see if anyone's following me. My character from Stab 5, she was more of a sidekick, and as we move into Stab 6, I'm now a main girl. Which I really liked, and I leaps and bounds my character went from like this, you know, happy sunshine person that didn't seem like anything really ever bad happened till the very end of Stab 5. You're coming to terms with your world is shit. I mean, when you can't trust a person that's your lover and they're trying to get you, it just seems like it's a game. Like, who the hell do you trust? And I think that's where my bond comes in with Rachel, because she just seems like she's my rock. Until Rachel and Kylie invite me to be in a TV show that's a reality show with competitions, horror competitions with Stab, and I decided to play myself. Me and Kylie kind of had a little bit of a butting heads because she had brought me up negatively in her book, and she's kind of all about selling herself and her image and doesn't really care who she hurts, and my character doesn't really like that so much. But I play along, and I play along as best as I can. I was having a moment upstairs, you know, trying to figure out eeny, meeny, miny, mo on which pillow is going to take, because at that point it was just a game to me. My character had seen enough and been through enough that she just wanted to numb most of it, and to get to bed, that meant taking multiple different prescriptions. So unfortunately, that's where we were. I was like maybe 2.5, 3 hours late to filming my big beginning scene, which Josh was attacking me, and I was on the phone, and I mean, I was kind of out of sorts. I had dealt with like a family emergency, so I was out of sorts, and I was trying to like get a glass of water, and then I shattered it all over the floor, and Josh was like already been there, and I had brought my boyfriend at the time, and he was sleeping on the couch during all of this filming, and the filming was intense. I mean, we were running all around the house, smashing stuff over each other's faces, going up the stairs, hit my head off the banister. We get upstairs, and I like almost jumped out the window. I probably shouldn't have like gotten the window frame as much as I did. It was a little scary when we went back and looked at it, because I was just in the zone, you know what I mean? And then I did get smashed in the head by Kylie when she opened the door, which it did hurt, and probably bruised. So I do remember being in Karen's house and it being very hot, and Josh was filming other scenes downstairs in the basement, and we were all upstairs, and we started getting rambunctious, and they had a freak out, and we had to shut it down. So we had to be like really quiet. So then we decided to like do these little stupid quiet games and listen to music in the headphones, and I don't know, we tried to keep it to a minimum, but we were always pissing off Josh, unfortunately. I mean, you gotta understand it was really hot. We were there for hours, so.
And days. Even.
Days, and I mean, there were snacks. Karen really did a nice spread. She always took care of all of us. But it was a lot. The heat just gets to you. And then there's all the different struggles that I go through. 1 minute I'm in the bathroom downstairs and I'm having these Chris Doobie flashbacks, and he's not really there. I did have fun filming Stab 6. It was a lot because there was so many different people, so you really had to learn patience with that set. It was a little different. But you could go to different spots. I remember listening to music with other cast members and just chilling out at the cars while other things were being shot. And then sometimes we would break off into pairs and go over the scenes together. I mean, if you're with your scene partner, might as well, right? So we would get some of that, on its way and get the energy going. So when Josh did call us, we were ready to go. There's nothing more aggravating than taking forever to film a bunch of stuff, and then, your director has to wait on the next couple people. So I tried to be always on point with Josh and always have my lines done for Josh. So he could pretty much just show me blocking and, where he wanted me to go, where he wanted me to take the scene. So I just always wanted to have everything as ready as possible for Josh. Doing any kind of make-out sexual scenes is always a little awkward at first, but once you get the first kiss done, it's kind of giggly and silly, and then you gotta do what you gotta do. But he was nice and very attentive, I guess.
Yes, he was.
He didn't make it feel awkward or anything, but man, was I really stumped that he tried to kill me. And I'm starting to wonder, where am I where I'm attracting all these killers? Because I mean, Josh is a killer, Doobie's a killer, and now my new boyfriend Jason's a killer. Can I find anybody that doesn't want to destroy me? And why do I want to keep coming back? It's like I have a hunger to be chased and then survive it and then do it again. I don't know. Filming in the basement, that was a lot of stuff going on. Hayden coming at me with her, I don't know, my character didn't like her at all, and I just didn't understand what was going on. I thought that we found good people to film this little series or whatever we were gonna do with it, and everybody ends up being a nut, like a fruitcake, honestly. Donna comes out, and my God, I hadn't seen her in forever. So Corey kills her, and then he comes for me because he thinks that he's gonna become famous by making a film about murdering me. That's right. It was a little cooler in the basement to film than the rest of the house, but it was very compact. It was very tight in there, and just getting shots was a little hard, I remember, and Josh had to be kind of over our shoulder, and we were getting very close. Everybody ends up being a killer, and I'm running from everybody. Pretty much everyone tries to kill me. It's like, watch the film if you haven't seen it. Then I have this crazy fight scene with Corey, and he's attacking me, and of course my brain goes right back to Chris Doobie. So now Chris Doobie's on top of me. We actually had to film that. You're not going to see my memory, right? So I have Chris Doobie on me, and then I'm over here, and it's just like this huge wrestle. Gets exciting, it gets rough, and your adrenaline just starts pumping, and I feel like you could run right through the building when you're doing like a fight scene with Josh, because Josh just really takes his time, and you have to get into it. You have to do it from all these different angles, and you can't mess it up. It has to look perfect, because, you know, you don't want it to look like crap, and you think, oh, that didn't look real. I hope you think that the last fight scene looked real. I mean, we stabbed the crap out of each other. We were like 2 pieces of butchered meat at the end of that. I'm really unsure of how I made it, but there's always a little hope in Shannon. So it's the bloodiest film of the all 3 that I was involved in, and that's the one that really gave me stains for days. I even have bumps and bruises because, I mean, the fight scenes were crazy. The choreography was just intense. Flipping over couches, running into the kitchen, getting pulled down the stairs, smacking my head, hitting my back. I mean, we pretty much did everything that we possibly could have done to wow you. So I hope you enjoyed it. Overall, I thought Stab 6 was a smash. I thought that we killed it, actually. I don't know if I would change anything. I think it's good as it is. It was a lot of work that we had to push into in a weekend and a lot of hours. So, I mean, we're not getting paid here, so we're doing the best that we can. And I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you watch it again. And I hope you watch my next interview. Hi, I'm Stephanie Maheu. I play Shannon Nightingale in Stab 7, Knife of the Hunter. Stab 7's a little bit different from Stab 6 because now I kind of got my balls back. I am a therapist now, and I'm doing very well. And I hear about the murders that are going on in Manchester because somebody's trying to recreate Stab 4 and trying to kill Sarah Campbell. So I'm here to kick some fucking ass. Let's get real here. Like, now I have dealt with everything. I have got off my medication. I have dealt with my demons, and now I am ready to save the new ones. The first scene that I'm filming is with my assistant Valerie. I'm coming home to Manchester, and we're coming into the house, and I'm giving her pretty much the lowdown on everything, and something about our chemistry as actors was a little off, so I don't know, it wasn't as fluid as Stab 6 was. It took a little to get into it, so it was a little rough filming at first. And then it started picking up once we did our fights, like the fight sequence, which that was really fun. We bounced from room to room and did some fun stuff with the door. I remember the door, we're trying to get the lighting right. Everything's about lighting and timing of the day. Sometimes you're waiting a little bit to get the right shot in so you can get the best lighting for the shot, you know what I mean? So the Halloween party, that was a lot because everyone but me, because I wasn't drinking, everyone was drinking and a lot of them were getting hammered, and just like a lot of craziness going on trying to keep people together. There was like a party we had to decorate for. A lot of people didn't show up, and then I had to be like an extra. I stayed really late. I was getting frustrated on this set because I felt like not everyone was taking it as serious as I did. And I mean, I had driven like maybe like an hour or something to this location, and I just was kind of getting aggravated. Plus I was having like trouble with my car. We did have another location to shoot at, which was over 2 hours away, and it had to get canceled. Someone didn't wake up. I don't really remember, but I was pretty pissed about that and was like, I'm good. My car soon shit the bed after that, and I had to like walk to work. I live in Massachusetts, so it's a little different for other people that are living in New Hampshire with Josh. It was disappointing that it didn't work out because we had done so much work already together, and we had filmed stuff, and it didn't end up working out. So me and Josh actually didn't talk for a very long time after this. I think that he thought that I just like didn't care and gave up, and I think that his feelings were mostly hurt more than anything, just because he has this baby that he created and he wants everybody to, you know, give everything they got, and he sets schedules up and does all this stuff to make sure that we can all, you know, put on something that's of substance, you know, and it just didn't work out. It was a lot of younger kids, and they just, you know, they were just doing this for fun, not for serious. They didn't see somebody's dream behind the lines. So, you know, and I had just, it wasn't just this production. I had been a part of other productions with UMass Lowell, and I was dealing with the same thing. And I would go and I would wait, and I'd wait for like an hour, and then they'd be like, oh, well, I'm not gonna make it. And I said, well, that's not gonna work for me. So I started to try to get serious with my acting and really try to be professional. So anyone that wasn't professional in a cast mentality, I wasn't wasting my time. It really wasn't Josh's fault. It really had to do with what I was dealing with in my own life, and then, you know, what I was dealing with on sets and cancellations. So even though me and Josh went our separate ways, we ended up, you know, figuring things out, and we decided to have a cameo so I could, you know, say goodbye to everybody and have an ending scene. And that's where the other Stab 7 came in, but unfortunately that one didn't make it either. What's with number 7 anyways? It's supposed to be lucky. Hi, I'm Stephanie Maheu. I play Shannon Nightingale in Stab 7. So Stab 7 is worlds apart from Stab 7 Knife of the Hunter. I come back kind of crazy from everything else, and I am on the killer side, and I'm trying to be one of the killers. But then I get attacked. It was fun. So we ended up filming in Josh's new place, which had no electricity. So everything was by candlelight, so it was romantic. It starts like with me writing in my journal, and somebody's outside, and there's a whole sequence where I'm like dancing pretty much on the inside, and the killer's on the outside, and you got all these candles. It was pretty lovely. Somehow he gets in and he tackles me into all these boxes. It was a lot of fun to do. I mean, it was entertaining. And then I'm in a chair, and I get it. I get it good. But I don't think you ever really see me die. So you may just see me again. I don't know. No, I just think it is a curse to die on screen. I really do, and I really don't want to die by a murderer, so I'm really sorry that that didn't work out too. I think it's cursed. Maybe we should just go right to 8. Hi, I'm Stephanie Maheu, and I play Willow in The Gates. The Gates is a very different production because Rachel actually wrote it. She was a big part of the directing as well. It's kind of hard to say that there's a big difference working with Rachel and Josh, because Rachel and Josh are kind of like always united when it comes to everything. I'd say she had more say on how she wanted it to look, but she wasn't like this mega bitch. She was like, this is my production and you can sit down. She's really open to hearing what Josh says, especially because Josh has so much input on everything with the horror and like just an angle or something. So it felt collaborative, if that makes sense. But I think that she did a great job doing it for the first time. You wouldn't have known that it was her first time. We were a paranormal group that were coming together for one last hurrah to find Elizabeth Gilson. The filming was really cool. We went to this like really old cemetery up in New Hampshire, and we had to wait, and there were other people that were actually there trying to catch something paranormal, I remember, because they had equipment and they kind of ran into us, and we were like, just, can we film this real quick here? Is that okay? And they were really cool about it. And then we ended up going across the road, I believe, to film the rest of it, which was a little hard because just people's houses, noises, cars driving by, trying to get the right lighting. It was so dark, trying to see everybody and get them in the shots. But I have to say I really had a fun time doing this character because I got to like play a little bit at being, what's the word? I don't know, enveloped by a spirit. I really liked it. So I got to play with my voice a little bit, which was a little different. And you get to hear me scream, which I think I'm pretty good at. Anyways, yeah, so Josh added some little effects and put out a new version. It's a little up-to-date version of it, which I actually just watched with him, and I thought it was pretty sick. If you haven't seen it, you guys should check it out. I just remember laughing a lot. I remember sitting on a wall. We were on like this wall and we were just kind of joking around, having fun, kind of getting our energies right so we could play in this thing together. And it was really cool to be the one that kills this time, I have to say. Even though it wasn't technically me, it was Elizabeth Gilson. And it was really sad that, you know, she had 3 stillborn babies. Yeah, I can't handle that stuff. It was fun working with Rachel, and the whole car scene was pretty stellar, I thought. I remember messing around. That took a little bit of time to film, so we joked around during that. That was definitely a fun scene to do. And then my walk away scene, like I got to do some ticks and shit, some like body acting, which is always fun. Just get physical with it. I would definitely do that one, like a full version of it. I thought it was a great short film. I'm very interested to see what happened and where she is now and if she's still haunting.